veterans don't know, or does it work the other way? The rookie's the one, the advantage, because he hasn't been through as many situations.
It's always an advantage for the veteran, a guy like CP3 who understands the nuances of the game. But where the rookie can excel, you can't be fixated on just that one aspect of your game. You pass the ball ahead, you get your team going in transition, you get some other players knocking down shots from the perimeter. And inevitably, when the defense backpedals, that's when you just have to make shots from the outside. And that's always going to be the big question for Lonzo Ball. Will he be able to knock down the wide open three?
James, defended by Melo. Down for McGee. No good, and no foul.
Ed, you ready for another fun fact about the Houston Rockets?
Let's do it.
Okay, the team was established in 1967 and was given the name the Rockets because San Diego was the home to many space-age manufacturers. When the team eventually moved to Houston, the name still fit, giving Houston's association with NASA.
Wow, so Houston, we have a problem? All of that associated with space? Who knew?
Are you saying that because Carmelo Anthony's in town?
No, Apollo 13.
Oh, okay.
And the basket good at the rim. The way he gets to the line, you have to respect every part of his game.
He is an occupational hazard for referees. He's the MVP of drawing fouls. He constantly baits the defender, which makes the defender's hands drop, which allows James Harden to drop buckets on you.
To Harden. Beyond the arc for three. Can't connect. It's no good. Hart picked up by Paul.
Defense, let's go.
And the Rockets clear the board. Harden. Rebound LeBron. To Kyle Kuzma. Stuffs it down with authority.
You have to understand something. I do not care that you're 1 of 6 from the field. The only statistic that matters is the final score.
Rockets in control of the basketball. Harden to Anthony. Probing the defense. Anthony to Paul. Shot clock to 4 for Houston.
Watch back, watch back, watch back.
Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
LeBron James against Tucker. To Josh Hart. Now ready for a couple of free throws.
The defensive player is establishing his presence on the court and also checking to see how far the refs are going to let him go.
Kyle Kuzma at the line for 2 shots. A career 70% free throw shooter. First free throw is good. And gets both to drop at the line.
Good shot, man.
With the rock, it's Chris Paul. To Harden. Rejected.
Whoa! Get that out of here!
Message sent, Jay. Paul with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Knocked loose. Ball into the front court. He'll run the offense. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Ball into the front court. Down 2. Couldn't keep it in. Off James Harden. Hart. James matched up with P.J. Tucker.
Watch that cutter.
Oh! Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. Kuzma. Lonzo Ball matched up with Paul. Has a look. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Harden gets it in the left corner. Paul buries it on the catch and shoot. There's a sixth sense there that you just can't teach.
If you're a player on the same team with CP3, you should be taking that point guard out to dinner every single night. There's something to be said about a guard that makes the game way easier for you to be even more of an efficient offensive player.
Jay, what's going to be good enough this year for the Rockets to get to the NBA Finals?
Well, you need CP3 to be healthy, but also I think James Harden needs to continue to build on his play in the playoffs in particular. Those last 6 games against the Golden State Warriors, he really struggled from the three-point line. He shot 37% during the regular season. He shot 20% in the Western Conference Finals.
Now it's Harden controlling the offense. To Anthony from long range, and Carmelo Anthony, zero hesitation as he knocks down the three. Jay, mixed opinions with Carmelo Anthony. How will you remember his career?
Well, as of right now, he's a catch-and-shoot type player. But for me personally, Carmelo Anthony will go down as one of the greatest isolation players of all time. Back in his Denver days, his earlier New York Knicks days, there was nobody better in an isolated set than CA.
His first effort off the mark. To James. Here's a chance from long range. Well defended.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
To Kyle Kuzma. Now preparing to shoot at the line.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
And he connects on the first free throw.
Subbing in for the Lakers.
2 for 2 on that trip.
2 minutes remaining in the first.
Houston takes over.
I got ball. That's me.
A lot of contact. Shots no good and no foul.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. Different shots at different angles, high off the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
Paul to Anthony. Lets it fly from long range. Off the mark. Here's Rondo with it. Right now, 12 all. To James. Shot won't go. Rondo. The rebound belongs to Houston. Paul. For 3. Buries the wide open 3. That's too easy.
And they're relentless with these long shots. It just seems like their spacing is perfect, and they come down, they know exactly where they want to be, and they're shooting the ball without hesitation.
Kyle Kuzma, strong finish. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first quarter. That's the way you take it right to your opponent. You attack right out of the gate.
To Anthony. And he's fouled. Nice move that time, and he's going to the line for 2.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number 1, to see if they'll get caught. And number 2, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
Eric Gordon, a couple of free throws on the way. A career 81% free throw shooter. First one, count it. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Rondo with the basketball. They can get a 2 for 1 if they play this right. Going to launch beyond the arc. Paul has a chance. Wide open look, won't go.
Look, sometimes it takes a little while to get into the flow of the game. During the next timeout or during the next break in action, take the ball, go shoot it. See the ball go through the net a couple of times.
Five seconds to shoot. Deep three at the buzzer. That misses with a second to go. So the Rockets with the lead after one at Toyota Center. Jay and I back with more after this. You're watching the NBA on EA Sports. One quarter down. Neither side really distinguished itself. Jay, what stood out?
I really like what I'm seeing. Both teams look engaged. There's some trash talking going on the court. I think this has a making to be a big-time game.
Yes, Carmelo Anthony. He's 3 of 5, 60% shooting from the field. LBJ has it. Change of scenery, but how can Melo still impact the franchise?
It all starts with a mindset. It starts with embracing and accepting your new role. He is no longer a starter in this league. He's a guy that's going to need to be positive on the bench, bring in his shooting abilities off the bench, and also be a coach when he's on the floor. That's the next step in the evolution for Carmelo Anthony.
First one goes down. Goes 2 for 2. Now Paul with the basketball. Up by 3. Ooh, Chris Paul. 2 of 4 now.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way.
And as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Kyle Kuzma has got 2 shots coming. He's perfect from the line so far. Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. It's in the hands of Harden. To Chris. Marquise Chris rocking the rim.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Can't miss those.
And you hate to say this, but this is the reality of the matter. Sometimes it takes guys a little while to warm up into the game. Seems like they finally found their rhythm in the second.
Oh,
he sent that one to the 3rd row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Paul to Harden. Fires the 3 with James Harden. Muscle memory. Gets it to go.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Defensive foul to number 17, P.J. Tucker. That's his second.
And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
You got to know your personnel. That's not someone you want to send to the line for a free 2.
And hits the first free throw. And he makes them both. Gordon with it. Up 6. He's looking for that touch.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Paul into the front court. Leads 4. Not that time. Stuffs it down with authority.
This offseason, I heard so many voices, even that of the great Shaquille O'Neal, talking about how LBJ needed to cement his own legacy. Well, for LeBron, it's not about chasing external accolades. It's about hunting your own legacy, and that's to be the greatest of all time.
Now a steal as the Rockets have it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Paul not going down here. Kuzma to Stevenson. Jay, Magic and Kobe each won 5 titles. How are you going to judge LeBron James' legacy in L.A.?
LeBron James wins 1 championship in L.A. That means he will set himself apart. He will have won 4 championships in 3 different cities. Now, that is polarizing for some fans. That still does not take away from the overall greatness and the legacy of LeBron James.
Lakers come up with it. Turns and slams it down.
So many people think making assists is creating something razzle and dazzle. Sometimes giving the ball up early is the right play and the most efficient.
Short jumper won't go down. To James. And he'll go to the foul line.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
LeBron James at the line for 2 shots. Hasn't missed yet. First free throw is good. Able to convert on both free throws. Now the Rockets will use a timeout as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point basketball game. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Almost. Unlucky bounce. Into the front court comes Rondo. Leads a bucket. Shot from in close. No good. Over to the right side. Shot by Beasley. That's off. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
Everybody in the building understands he's been a known target. Looks like they're hacking early in this one.
And he connects on the first free throw.
Coming right back to for Houston, number 10, Eric Gordon.
No good on the second. It's a 1-of-2 trip. Paul across the timeline. They're down 3. And that's rebounded by the Lakers. Michael Beasley matched up with Harden. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
Paul with it up top. Looking to make something happen to Chris. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
There you go. Finally. Shoot your shot.
Rondo into the front court. Leads just a point. Ingram sizing up Eric Gordon. To Stevenson. The shot almost. Great feed. Ooh, Chris Paul. Now 3 for 9.
Ed, all this talk I heard over the summer, what about CP3's hamstring? Will he be able to get back his first step? Will he still have it? There you go.
Ingram against Gordon. To Stevenson. A pass. Down low to Beasley. And scores. Great body control, Jay, as he ran down the lane.
It's not a travel if it looks pretty.
Paul into the front court. Down by one. To Harden. To Chris. It's blocked by Chandler.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Oh, bad pass as the Rockets come away with it. Give him 2 points. High percentage.
And that is the sign of an unselfish team. When everybody in transition thinks they have a chance to get the ball because you have a willing passer, somebody willing to make other players on his team look great, that's only going to force your players to play that much harder on offense and give you more energy on the defensive end.
Ooh, Chris Paul. 4 out of 10. Jay, he's played for a number of teams in the Western Conference, no less. What do you make of Paul and his willingness to embrace a challenge?
Well, for the first 12 years of his career, he was ball dominant. The ball was forced to be in his hands every possession because nobody else, other than CP3, could make a play. Now there's a shared responsibility with the playmaking skills, and that only allows him to play looser, to play freer, to play more like he played in college, hunting his own shot and thinking pass second, score first.
We get a whistle and a timeout for Houston as they'll talk things over in a one-point basketball game.
An effort only fully releases its reward after a person refuses to quit. What I like about this team is that they continue to execute. As a coach, we used to talk about it all the time. I would hear it every single day. Execute, execute, execute. But if you can play with energy and execute, that's the formula for success.
Here's Rondo with it. It's a one-point game as we approach halftime. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Lakers have it. Straight on three. At the buzzer. First half comes to an end. The Lakers have the lead.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at what went down so far in this one. The Lakers are in a tight battle after 2 quarters. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. The Rockets are within striking distance at the half. I love the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impressed me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Houston Rockets.
Game trap. Blocks.
Let's get to the point. We all know that first half of basketball was all about the block shots. Plays like that are all about timing and effort, as you can see in these highlights. There's some great athleticism being shown off as well.
Player of the half.
The film speaks for itself. He's definitely the player of the half. Now he just got to give an encore to get his team to win.
Who was gold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this guy. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Now it's Harden at the controls. It's denied by the King.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. The results, he's going to the line. LeBron James, a couple of free throws on the way. He's perfect from the line so far. Misses the first. Second one goes. It's a 1-of-2 trip. To Anthony. Rejected by McGee. Foot was on the line. It's a turnover. Harden. Paul. Jay, last year the Lakers 35-47. What impact, obviously, will LeBron James have on this Lakers team and their record?
There's no doubt that I think the Lakers will get over 35 wins. Will they get over 50, though, is the major question. I don't see that happening, considering last year only 2 teams in the West, Golden State and Houston, had over 50 wins.
Anthony, down low for Tucker. Turned away by LeBron James.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
LeBron into the front court. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. Hart to Kyle Kuzma. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number 1, create contact, and number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
The free throw good. Cashes in on the three-point play. The lead now stands at 10. Now the Rockets will use a timeout as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. James Harden not looking pretty. 3 for 10.
It just seems like one of 3 things happen every time James Harden has the ball. Either he scores, he gets fouled, or he kicks it out to someone for a 3. Pick your poison.
Now ready to shoot at the line.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
LeBron James has got 2 shots coming. At the line, he's shooting 87%. First one, count it.
Shot, boy.
And gets both to drop at the line. Now Paul with the basketball. His guys trail by 10. Layup goes down. Well done. He has that sixth sense that you just can't teach.
He's like a traffic cop, and he's navigating a myriad of bodies coming his way. And there's a smaller innuendo of the game that nobody talks about. When he makes a great pass, he'll tell the offensive player, shoot it, go up, dunk it. He will direct you and lead you to success. That reach was just about a second off. He got his hand in there a little bit quicker. That would have been a steal.
Just enough imbalance. Chris Paul at the line for 2 shots. A career 86% from the line. First one goes down. Two for 2 on that trip. Ball with it up top. Up by 6. Runner here won't go. Paul into the front court. He'll run the offense. Trying to cash in. Shot by Paul won't go. James to Josh Hart. Kuzma driving, but a shot won't go. Tucker to Chris. And McGee there for the rebound. LeBron into the front court. Up 6. Leaves his man in the dust and finishes at the rim.
It's not every day that you see a 6'9", 265-pound freight train coming down the lane. You probably want to step out of the way.
Knocks it down from mid-range.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
To Kyle Kuzma. Oh, you could sense that coming.
There is a premium market for players with that type of hand-eye coordination.
That's what the King does. James, the quick catch and shoot there for 3.
Okay, I see you throwing the ball like a quarterback in the pocket for the touchdown.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Always has a chance for Tucker, but not that time. James. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Just like Linsanity in New York, Kuzmania took L.A. by storm his rookie year. There's no doubt he has crazy talent, but it's his heart that endears him to the fans and his teammates. Even though he was drafted late in the first round, Kyle Kuzma is the one.
Harden with the basketball. The deficit now up to 13. Looking for his man. Throws it down off the alley-oop pass.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Harden. And the rebound taken in by Ingram. Caldwell Pope to James. Tough make through traffic.
I was expecting the dish there, but way to fake that one and lay that one in.
Paul across the timeline. His guys down big, and a whistle.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Carter Williams. And he buries it.
Eric Gordon finished second in the six-man of the year voting after winning the previous year. But what's even more astonishing is watching his development at his time in Houston. In New Orleans, often it looked like he was lost. But there's no doubt about it. In H-Town last year, he found a second life.
Can't connect from in close. Rondo with the basketball. His guys up by 15. LeBron James against Gordon. To Caldwell Pope. James. Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. A drive down the lane, but the shot stays out to Anthony. The jumper's off the mark. Caldwell Pope. And scores.
And this kid has a chance to be a Laker great. Went from averaging 9 points his rookie year to 16 in his sophomore campaign. Brandon Ingram is a name that you need to recognize.
Brandon Knight against Chandler. To Carter Williams. To James. Caldwell Pope. Nobody even close. Count the basket for Caldwell Pope.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
Marquise Chris. Shot won't go. And a throwdown.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on, but the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
To Chris. Carter Williams. Down to 5 on the 24. Has a look. Gets a look. Can't hit. To Caldwell Pope. And the finish at the rim.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Houston with the basketball.
I got him.
The drive, right to the basket. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Eric Gordon trying to cash in on the three-point play. Hasn't missed yet. And he missed the free throw. And look out. Big finish at the rim. That's the end of the third quarter with the Lakers in command. It's Lakers ball as we start the fourth quarter, and they have done no wrong to this point. They have this game well in control.
They took control early, and they never let up. The scary thing about this team, if they keep their foot on the gas and then throttle down, they can win this game by 50.
And now Houston has the basketball. To Chris. Shot from the lane won't go. JaVale McGee to James. Has a chance. LeBron shot off the mark. The follow won't go either. To Chris. No good. To James. And he finishes at the rim.
You know, it reminds me of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Marquise Chris. To Carter Williams. Fires the three, and it's Ingram there for the rebound.
And you knew this game had a chance to get out of hand pretty quickly because of the communication. When these guys stepped on the court, Ed, they were yapping back and forth to each other. And that kind of communication, that kind of collective responsibility to one another, you feel that on the court. That's why this team is special.
He was all over him. Missed the shot. No free throws. Lonzo Ball, defended by Eric Gordon. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
JaVale McGee at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. History not on his side. 58% from the line. Free throws good as they continue to widen their lead. Knight into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Why even try that time?
I'm going to start calling him the windshield wiper, just erasing all the mistakes.
James to Kyle Kuzma. Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
Hey, look, pretty dudes can mix it up once in a while too, I guess.
Rockets have the ball. To Chris. Surveys the floor. Get the cameras out. Flash on.
That's going to make a nice poster.
Short jumper misses.
This game is all about the small victories, though. The execution on that play was on point. You keep executing like that, those shots are going in eventually.
Return label included.
The offense might want to adjust here. That's his 4th block of the evening.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Tucker. Paul. And the rebound taken down by the Lakers. It's a big finish.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Here's Paul, controlling the offense. To Chris. Off the assist.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
LeBron matched up with P.J. Tucker. JaVale McGee to James. The shot blocked by Anthony.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Paul with it up top. Down a bundle to Anthony. Driving right to the basket. Tucker to Paul. Here comes the screen. It's Paul for 2. Not that time. Tucker to Anthony. Goes to the left side. Rejected by McGee.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Tucker. Trying to cash in. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Eric Gordon finished 2nd in the 6th Man of the Year voting after winning the previous year. But what's even more astonishing is watching his development at his time in Houston. In New Orleans, often it looked like he was lost. But there's no doubt about it. In H-Town last year, he found his second life.
To Kyle Kuzma. Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. 24-second violation. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
Ed, you're allowed 2 steps after you pick the basketball up. It doesn't matter which feet you step with, but 2 counts.
Count it.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the players. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Free throw good, so they get the 3-point play, but it's not much more than a drop in the bucket with the score right where it is. Stuffs it down with authority.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Nearing impossible. No getting through.
5, Ed. That's 5 blocks tonight.
Harden to Paul. 4-3. Can't connect. Lonzo with it. His guys holding the big lead. JaVale McGee to James. Oh, had him going there for a second. Baseline drive. A pass taken away by the Rockets.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
And he scores. Jay took a big step, but they'll count the bucket.
Well, look, you can't be caught flat-footed on defense. You need to be on the balls of your feet, especially in transition. You have to jab at that guy with the ball, hedge at him. Make him think that maybe you will take him. Maybe you'll fan out to a defender on the perimeter, but still keep him guessing. But when you don't do that, that's easy money.
James to Josh Hart. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. James to Ball. Beyond the arc for 3. I don't know, Jay. They have a big lead. This game is just about over. He might not make many friends on the other side with that 3.
Oh, I don't want to hear that generic coaching speak about dwindle down the shot clock, use the clock is your friend. No, if you have a chance to beat him by 50, beat him by 50. If you want to beat him by 100, keep shooting more threes.
Lakers ball. Ball. Deep 3 at the buzzer. The Lakers get the victory as they win this one in blowout fashion. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Lakers
were merciless in this game.
The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Rockets are no longer suffering through what was a big-time blowout. Losses like this become main discussion topics in the media. So hopefully this team is ready to answer the tough questions. It's not going to be fun.
Game track. Assists.
The Los Angeles Lakers showed off the kind of team chemistry that coaches love to see from their players. The more they moved the ball, it showed how much they trust each other. In the end, they got to win, and it looked like they had a great time doing it.
Player of the game.
The chosen one
was happy to throw down plenty of dunks. And if the defense happened to be there, he brought them along for the ride.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show.
Here are the top plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
And here we've got the upcoming games for the Houston Rockets. This has been a presentation of ESPN.